Well, here we are. A little update before I go away for a week. Just to show you what I got done since last time we shot the shit. Look at that interior. Fucking A. Awesome. Is this thing ever dirty? Holy moly. She'll clean up nice. Looky there, eh? There we go. We got ourselves a motor in the car. So that's a 66, I think 66, maybe 67, I forget. 289 hypo-carb. Original 4-barrel, very much like the 2-barrel 2100 Autolite. This is the 4100. Got it from a guy local for $100. Yeah, and it's in very good shape. Shouldn't need anything. Got that ugly GM style distributor on there. And you'll notice it's fucking sitting all cockeyed and cocked this way and that. And literally with the positioning of the truck serpentine system, I couldn't have this over here far enough for everything to clear the carb. So literally I'm sitting about where it's going to be. I got it set for roughly top dead center. That'll be something I would say this fall or this winter we will have to change. But those headers, I'll tell you what, holy shit, you want to talk about fucking clearance. You can tell these things were made for big blocks, these old cars, because the small block's pretty minute in there. But these headers, these are just eBay fucking cheap $200 Canadian headers. And yeah, what a beautiful fit. They work good. The transmission cleaned up really nice. Remember, it was dirty as hell before we put it in. I got all my plugs and stuff in there. I fixed up the original carb spacer because you need a special spacer for these carbs. They aren't quite the same as your Holly or your Edelbrock stuff. They're a little different, so I set it up anyway so I can run my PCV off the back. I had one of these guys sitting here, and it fits on the bolt pattern okay, so I'll use that for my throttle, because the original one that came with this, they had bent the living shit out of the 302 one, like for the throttle holder, the cable holder. They bent the living shit out of it to use it on the 351 Cleveland. And I thought, you know what, I got this thing. It won't look bad on there. And I'll get some good wires and obviously some really nice valve covers and stuff. She's pretty high up though, holy moly. I think we'll be okay as far as clearance. It's, kind of, just slightly above. Like I might have, obviously I'll have to shorten the bolt a bit, but yeah, looking good. Motor's in, transmission lines are there. I gotta straighten them up a bit and put them where they're gonna be. I got them on a hanger over here, and yeah, either way, she's pretty good shape overall. Everything looks good. Where the oil dipstick is very nice, and also for obviously the dipstick is where it would have been anyways on the Cleveland, so that's good. Still need a master cylinder. Still got to fix the wiring that I tried to cut in half. I didn't quite make it through, thank God. But either way, step by step, piece by piece, she's turning into a Mustang again, so we'll get there sooner or later. Just like I say, this is more of a brief overview, what we've done, where we're at, and it's actually for myself as much as anyone else interested, because yeah, I want to remember it as it goes, how it went. I'll tell you, doing this stuff, this distributor, like that's just one of those cheap distributors. So I bought the Marasso recurve kit. I got it set up for right around 20 degrees mechanical advance. This is stock HO cam motor basically. So I might want a little more in than that. But I'm going to try it there first. So it'll probably be 16 and 36 or 14 and 34 or whatever thereabouts. So I think it'll work out good. It'll be good, but won't know till we get there, right? That's how these things go. And just a view, I guess. I don't think anybody's seen inside, but so that's basically the inside of the motor, the way it came. I haven't cleaned it or anything. What a fucking beauty, man. She's had the oil changed at least. It's clean as a whip. Clean as a whistle, man. Love it. So that's good. I hope she runs as good as she looks. I've said a few times. So yeah, it'll be another, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before I fire it up. So I got to get plugs and wires and oil and filter, and I need an alternator, and yeah, got all kinds of stuff to buy, right? All that shit adds up. You end up, $300 or $400, $500 by the time you get everything you need to make stuff fire. So, but the main stuff's out of the way. Yeah, again, right? Ugly distributor, but these things are super handy because they're basically a one-wire hookup. Easy to put the tack on. And once you do the recurve on them, you change the weights. They actually work pretty damn good. The only thing that I've ran a couple of these now, and one thing that does happen, usually the module goes out on them within a month or two. So I'm thinking I'll get her fired up with this initially, and then after I run her for a couple weeks or a week or even once I get it running, I'll order up a good AC Delco, the GM actual replacement one, and then I know I'm good. And I'll save the one in this just in the glove box, or well, I'll have a little box in the back with a few tools and doodads, and that'll be my spare. If this carb works as good as it should, there's a manual choke kit I can get for it. Now that's one of the old heat style chokes, right? The ones that actually pick up the heat from the intake and all that stuff. So obviously I'm not hooking that shit up on this. So I'll either put the manual in, or you can get an electric choke kit for it, but I fucking hate electric chokes. Waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for the fucking thing to idle down. I don't like that. So either way, onwards and upwards. Like I say, just a shit shooting session here, just to show you where we're at, what we're doing. But definitely a lot of progress. Slow progress though. Doing that distributor, trying to get the curve right. You got to measure the degrees and work it out as a triangle based on how far the damn thing actually mechanically advances, and you got to work out exactly how many 100 thou of fucking movement you need to have. And then yeah, we put a screw in it to limit the travel, and then you gotta basically take the screw in and out and fucking 50 times and grind it just a shade each time and get just about what you need. So likewise putting the carb on. These damn things, like I say, they don't line up the same. Luckily this carb came with the correct spacer from a 60s Mustang. So that was good, because you need that spacer to make this work. But the gaskets are like just about one off, and the guy gave me some gaskets with it that were new, thank God. So really for $100, these things here, they're 600 CFM 4-barrel, brutally reliable. It's just like the old 2-barrels. You could park the fucking thing for 10 years and just dump some gas in it, and away it'll go again, just about, so. And this one here was it was a remanufactured one that he bought, and he had issues with hesitation in the car, so he bought the remanufactured carb, still had the hesitation. He was pissed off. He bought a Holly for the car, And then still had the hesitation. It ended up being his distributor, which is pretty common. But he was barking up the wrong tree, and then he already had this expensive holly on there. So he said, you know what? He kept the holly. He said it was a little more responsive, but not a lot of difference. And had this sitting there. The car's been sold for a while, so fucking $100 carb, man. Hopefully it works good. When I do start this thing up the first time, I'm going to do a full-on, I got a tripod and shit, I'll do a full-on first start video. And if it all goes well, I'll post it. If it all goes bad, well, you know if there's no video, it didn't go good. But anyways, yeah, we're ticking along here. It doesn't look like my Speedo's going to work. It appears it's not the cable. It's not the tranny end, I know that. But I'm thinking it's actually the speedometer itself, which sucks. But I'll get one of those little GPS Speedos and throw on it. And that's for now, that'll do good. I'm not gonna attempt fixing this or getting it fixed or buying another fucking dash for it, another cluster. So that'll be fine as long as I got an idea what I'm doing. So good stuff. Anyways, I'm just blathering on about nothing. So we'll see you guys in a week or two. We'll get a whole shit ton of work done. Be looking forward to it.